What is ecological literacy and how is it acquired? This is an excerpt from my PhD thesis and also from my book, Ecological Ignorance in Mainstream Economics, because my book is a product of my PhD thesis. What is ecological literacy? How is it defined? One definition is understanding the organizational and functional principles of ecological communities and using these principles for creating and maintaining sustainable human communities. You can find all these references in the detailed information of this video. This is from an article titled What is Ecoliteracy? And I like this definition. Another definition is from the book The System's View of Life. Being ecoliterate means understanding the basic principles of ecology and the principles of sustainability and living accordingly. So it's very important to understand theoretical knowledge alone is not sufficient for ecological literacy. Real life experience with living ecosystems is required. For example, observing wildlife, experience with sustainable communities, for example, like traditional villages, traditional local economies, and then hands-on experience with ecological gardens, permacultures, natural garden ponds, natural aquariums, and so on. For example, for children, it's very important to be simply in the nature, being in the nature, feeling the nature, playing in the nature. It's very important, both for ecological literacy and brain development and psychology, a healthy psychology. There is a very good book about this issue. Last Child in the Woods is the title of this book. And in my case, personally, since childhood, I had a keen interest in wildlife, animals, plants. I was a typical, and I am still, a lover of nature. My family had a farm, a small farm in Ankara. We were living in the city, but my family had a farm. So we were going to this farm at the weekends. So I could experience animals like chickens, sheep, and then fruit trees, orchard. We had a little orchard. And then I was addicted to documentary films like Jacques Cousteau or David Attenborough. And I began reading seriously about evolution, biology, ecosystems as I was, I guess, 14 years old. All the books I could find about evolution, starting from the books of, how was his name? Richard Dawkins and Ernst Mayr and other biologists. But I think for me the most important thing for ecological literacy was aquariums, keeping aquariums. First I had conventional aquariums with lots of technology, filters, air pumps, artificial lighting, and different kinds of filters, chemical filters, biological filters, mechanical filters, etc. Until I was about 28, 29, I had conventional aquariums. And I always tried to solve biological problems like the water quality or the quality of sand in the aquarium. That's the real challenge, keeping the sand alive and healthy. It's very much like keeping the soil in farming healthy and alive. That is generally the real challenge in the long term. I always try to solve these problems with technology. So all this experience with farming, reading, and then documentary films, etc., were not enough for me to overcome a kind of technology fetishism, addiction to technology. They were not enough somehow for me in my case. So only then, I was almost 30 years old, I was inspired by first natural garden ponds, and then second, I read a book about natural aquariums. The title of the book was Ecology of the Planted Aquarium. Only then I had a feeling of a living ecosystem. Only with natural aquariums, then I began to set up natural aquariums and then began to observe what makes an aquarium, especially the sand of the aquarium, sustainable or unsustainable. What kind of plants and animals and other invertebrates we need for a sufficient biological diversity, etc. Only then, after I was 30, I had a feeling of, let's say, ecological literacy. So I think it's the essence of ecological literacy, to get a feeling what makes an ecosystem sustainable or unsustainable, including human ecosystems like local economies, a typical village economy or global economy. I think this is the essence of ecological literacy.